How are we doing, gamers? Welcome back to another episode of the Birchlands. I believe this might be part 70. I'm gonna have to check that one. Obviously, I'll let you know in editing in some way if that's actually the case, but yes, this is going to be part 70 of this series. Holy frick, dude. That is insane, actually. I just watched the first episode of this series just the other day. I was just in my college's dining hall. Didn't really have a lot going on, so I decided to go back and watch it along with a couple other videos of mine from like 2021 and stuff, but that's going a little bit off topic. This landscape right here has been crazy transformed, like, especially with all the animal enclosures and everything. This right here, holy cow, dude. All this, there was all like a whole bunch of trees right here. There's a lot more of like a steady incline as opposed to just all these like flat surfaces and everything. The hill went down in like this direction right here, as you can see. My goodness, that was a little nostalgic. It wasn't too shabby of a video. Like, obviously nowadays I have my critiques of it and everything. Like, for example, you know, the PC I actually used to record those videos on. Yeah, it wasn't very good compared to the one I'm using right now that I think is a lot more suited for gaming and everything. Not too bad of a video. I think my other main big critique for that video would probably be the mic quality. The reason the mic quality was so low is because I didn't have any of the mics I have nowadays. And I know this section is extremely ironic given the fact that this is being recorded with a lav mic of all things. It's kind of my only option right now if you haven't been keeping up. But basically, it was recorded with a slightly broken mic. It was a tabletop, similar to the one I use for the videos on Nintendo Switch games like 3D World Captain Toad, the Metroid series, some of the Metroid series. But other than that, I do for desktop things, for like things that are actually on my computer and whatnot, to avoid keyboard noise, I use the lav mic and everything. It had a whole lot of keyboard noises in it, to say the least, but I don't really think it got in the way of like the experience at all. I think everybody could honestly do without the keyboard noises, quite frankly, because like, especially like during times where like I'd be fighting mobs and stuff, you could hear me clicking the mouse. You technically still can with the lav mic and everything, but I think it's a lot less apparent. It's a lot softer now. Like, clearly you can hear my voice a lot better over the actual, you know, inputs I'm making, I guess. But anyways, so yeah, it's been another hot minute, not nearly as hot as the minute that came between episode 68 and 69. Well, that was like a whole month. Like, it was the end of the summer when I just finished up 68, and then like a whole, and then I started recording 69, I think, at the start of this month, October. Either that or the end of September. So it's been a good minute. Today's actually Halloween. I keep forgetting that today's Halloween. There isn't really a lot of stuff going on, but yeah, we're here today, and we're going to be utilizing some of this space all the way out here. This big flat expanse, we're going to be utilizing some of it. We're going to be building ourselves yet another building and tearing another one down, actually. Maybe not in this episode, though. I might keep it up. But that is going to be our brewing facility, which is split in two. You see, on one side of the portal, which is up here around this hill, we have all of the potions and the ingredients, and on the other side is the actual brewing stands. It gets a little bit annoying sometimes having to go between dimensions just to do basic brewing and whatnot. So what we're going to do today is we're going to completely do away with all this right here. I think it's a little claustrophobic in here. And we'll probably make this just solely a portal building, or completely remove the building completely and just put some decorations around the portal. The portal is staying here, but all this stuff right here that we've collected is all going to get organized and stuff, and it's going to all have its own separate building out on that plain right there, that beach. I still think to this day that it's a desert, even though it's clearly not. Besides the sand, of course. There's no cacti out there. That's probably the big thing. But anyways, what we're going to mainly be making this thing out of is only the finest jungle logs. And I've been farming a lot of these. Like, a lot, dude. Like, insane, crazy amounts. Now, for those of you who are wondering, why don't you just get rid of it by making charcoal with it, and this is why right here. This is why we can't do that. I already have some stacks burning right now in here. Yeah, we don't have a whole lot of space in here, so I am going to compress another 9 stacks of coal into a coal block. So basically, that's going to free up a little bit of space in here, but we might want to expand the storage in here. I also said a long time ago I'd also add a whole bunch of smokers and blast furnaces in here. We never did that, so maybe that's something we should also do this episode, maybe. If I have the resources. Maybe only the smokers, though, because I don't have an iron farm yet in this world, and hopefully we'll be able to get one in soon, but that is going to require a lot of iron for the blast furnaces. But anyways, yeah, we're going to grab as much of the jungle logs as we can right here. And now we're going to try to locate ourselves some cobblestone, if that's available. If we can't find the cobblestone, here's some cobblestone. It depends on how it looks, really. If I don't like how it looks with the cobblestone, what we're going to do is we're going to replace it with sandstone, and I reckon that should look quite alright. Or not, I guess. I really don't know whether things look good until I actually see them laid out in front of me. I'm not sure whether that's just me, but that is probably just me knowing the world. But anyways, I'm also going to take some glass too. Not going to be a whole crazy amount of glass in this build, just some windows here and there. And oh yeah, the most important part, how could I forget? We're going to need the dirt for the area surrounding it, because I did say a while back that for every area of that the sand over there, the sandstone, we're going to replace it with the grass. We're going to slowly expand everything, but I reckon we can wait to do that until after we finish the building itself. Now, where the building itself is going to go, I think is not going to be too far away from the lava farm right over there. I was thinking probably like right here maybe. I think that would look pretty good. We have the road come over here, and then the entrance will be like right here. So let's get building here, and luckily we can insta-mine a lot of the sandstone here. Not all of the stone here, but the majority of it. We do still have all these little nubs of stone just lying around here. 6 blocks on this side, so that means we gotta add 5 more on this side right here. Now over here it looks like we have 8 blocks, so I'm gonna expand that to, I think 16 should be alright. So that would go all the way out until there. Alright, and this is basically going to be our floor plan right here. I think I am going to break a couple more blocks right on over here for our decorations a little bit later. I think this is going to be a pretty solid project we got going on here, assuming it comes out the way I want it to come out in my head. I just kind of came up with this build right now, so I decided to immediately hop on my computer and start recording. So yeah, this is going to be our entrance. Our walls are obviously going to make up this area going all the way around here, so basically the perimeter. And then what's left inside will be the floor, obviously. So we'll fill that in right now. And there we go. That's basically our floor right there. Now, what I reckon we'll do, we'll have, for the supports right here and everything, we'll make those out of jungle logs, and then the areas in between it will either be windows or it will be just planks, basically. So what we got to do is we got to keep the interior in mind here. We are going to have some brewing stands and some chests like right up against the wall. I'm thinking maybe we should have the chests on the outside right here, right on the inside. That didn't make a whole lot of sense. But and then we have the brewing stands, and probably not a cauldron because I don't think that'll be very necessary. We can just have like a pool of water here for the bottles and everything in the center, basically, or maybe vice versa. I don't know. Either way, though, we are definitely going to want to make sure this has depth to it, because that's kind of what makes your builds really pop and everything. You know, it really separates the good from the okay, I guess. Okay, so I reckon we'll do a little something like that going all around right here. It's a perfect square, so I reckon, yeah, we'll just do, it should look alright, I reckon. Hopefully. And then maybe do some, do we want to do stuff on the inside though? Because like that's going to make it a little bit cramped right on over here. It's going to be a little awkward because we're going to have this, and then there'll be no way to get to this block right here, which is going to suck obviously. So yeah, maybe we should just do things like over here potentially. I think that would be best. Hold on, there might have been a slight miscalculation here. So we got 4 blocks available right here. I reckon we don't have to correct anything. Oh yeah, that's right. It's not a perfect square. It looks like a perfect square. It's 16 over here and then 16 over here. I don't know. Either way, it is going to give us a good opportunity to put a window here. So personally, I don't feel like correcting that because it already feels quite correct, you know, for a window and everything. Do you reckon also we might want to have like 2 entrances to this potentially? I think that would be not too much of a shabby idea because we're obviously going to be coming from that direction a lot. So we can put one here and have another path come over here and everything. So there we go. 2 entrances. We got the front door, the back door, the back door, the front door right here. You can decide which one is which. Alright, for these 2 blocks right here, these 2 layers, what we're going to do is we're just going to throw down some stone bricks. I also think that would look pretty nice, especially when you partner it with chiseled stone bricks right here. I think if we like put that around the corners right here and near the windows, I think it would look even better. And maybe up in the corners here too, because it's such a small little area. And now I'm going to make some tweaks to the inside that I talked about earlier, just on these pillars right here, these little supports. I still don't think this would look very good right here. It's been like a few minutes. That's just a little update for you. It's not going to make a whole lot of sense to just have that one area right there be completely inaccessible. I know it's only 1 block, but come on, man. Also going to do it near the doors here too. I don't think that's going to look too bad either. And then maybe we can put like some slabs right around here to resemble like a table or something. Throw the brewing stands on there and then do something else. I don't know. Alright, so I think the only major thing left to do, besides bringing it up obviously, is to add all the planks where we're going to want all that. So yeah, what we'll do is, how is this going to look right here? I'm going to check that. I mean, it's alright, but I think it would look better with the stone bricks. So you know what? We're only using the planks in these little sections right here and on like the edges of where the 2 windows are going to be. So there we go. I've made my decision. We're probably going to want to move that chiseled stone brick up then, if that's the case, because it's going to not look very nice. Or it's going to look a little bit odd near the ground, you know what I'm saying? So I reckon 3 blocks off the ground right here, that should be plenty for all 4 of them, right? And then I reckon it'll be 5 blocks tall inside, so we'll have to bring this up 4 more right I think. Yeah, 4 more. And that'll also include the roof. Now, I'm not sure. Do you think maybe we could use the 2nd floor? We could always have a basement. And I was thinking that's maybe where we put the netherwort farm. And then we do whatever with the other farm over there. I guess we still could, like, technically use that thing for red nether brick. You need netherwort for that stuff. And we're probably going to have a lot of that coming in the near future. As we begin to mine out the surface nether and grab all that netherrack and everything. But yeah, I think we might not need that farm anymore. Not really sure. I guess we'll just have to see what this is going to entail. But maybe we could also just put the chests in the basement and then we have 2 basement floors. I don't know. I guess I'll figure it out at some point. But for now, we know for sure that this floor right here is where all the brewing is actually going to take place. Alright, this is what we got so far. I think I am going to make some tweaks. Wow, some tweaks. Yeah, that's right. New word, people. I think I'm going to make some tweaks to the wood sections right here. I think maybe we could have the wood going all the way down and then in the middle right here, we can have some stripped wood. I'm just going to experiment real quick. I think, guys, I think that looks better. So we're going to eliminate some stone brick real quick. All right, and this is how it looks right now, minus the incomplete window right here. We're gonna fix that actually real quick. But other than that, I think the walls right here, they're looking pretty solid, not gonna lie here. You know, not gonna lie, from like right here, it looks like it's supposed to be like a tower or something. That's kind of cool. I don't know if we'll actually make it a tower, but yeah, this is what we got right now, basically. Along with all these item drops here, I gotta pick up. You think maybe we should add like an extra layer of stone brick right here? I reckon that could do the trick real quick. But you know, this spot right here could also be used for something else, and that something else is chests. I reckon we could stack 4 of them, maybe 5 of them too, if we're feeling extra crazy. We could use that for those chests and everything. And then the brewing stands go right here, water goes right here. I think we have a plan, gamers. So I'm gonna begin working on the roof real quick. Now what we're gonna do for this is we're gonna have a ring of planks right here. We're not going to have the roof or the edge of the roof be on this block. It's actually going to be on this block right here. So that's where we'll put our first stair, and then it'll all go from there. I think it'll look a lot better, and it'll just like, I think it'll just like pop out a lot more against the studs right here, the supports. I've made that mistake before where I put the first stair block right where we're currently putting the planks, and I can say with confidence that it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all. It looks very awkward, in fact. It looks like you put like all your budget into like everything else minus the roof. It's kind of sad. I wonder how many other people have done it. Probably a lot. Or maybe not, I don't know. Here we are, we got lots of places for torches too. That's another thing I really like about this build. So yeah, what I reckon we'll do is we will begin crafting up the stairs right here. Now originally I was gonna have this roof kind of just be like a two-sided one right here. We got one side going up right here, one side going up on the opposite, and then we bring these walls up. Kind of like that roof way over there. But I think it might be better if we do more like a cone-shaped roof, if you get what I'm saying, where we have all the stairs wrapping around, doing like a full 360 around this thing right here. So yeah, I think that would just really fit the vibe a lot more. Not really sure if we're going to use all stairs. We might incorporate some slabs too. We might round it off near the top. I think that would look best. But yeah, this is going to be a pretty nice build, actually. Pretty good build, I reckon. It's really starting to come together. Alright gamers, I just got another amazing idea right now. What if instead of rounding off the roof, we eventually use this area to like put a beacon on top of here? I think that would look amazing once we defeat a wither or something. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So no slabs. I just crafted up the rest of the logs into some beautiful stairs right here that we're all familiar with and everything. Because we're going to need a lot of these. This is a pretty big roof. That's why I don't usually do roofs like these. Or I try to avoid them when I can nowadays, which isn't often, but yeah, it is what it is, I guess. So we got this thing. It's looking pretty marvelous right now. The only thing is that we're probably gonna want to maybe put like a shelf, I guess. I know shelves aren't in 1.17, but maybe we can like make one using the stairs, because like we have a lot of space for chests right there, and I think it's gonna be a little bit awkward trying to reach up and, you know, get all that, like especially from like so low, you know what I'm saying, if it's going all the way up to the ceiling. But other than that, I reckon on top of the shelves we can put maybe some candles potentially at some point. Candles are in this game, right? I think they are, yeah, in this version. I know that obviously they're in Minecraft, I know that, okay, in case that needs to be said, but like yeah, I think they were added in 1.17, so yeah, we'll have to get our hands on some of those. I believe we're going to need maybe some honeycomb for that, and we don't have any bees around here. We don't have a bee farm, so I guess that's probably going to be a project for another day. So maybe we can put something else on top, maybe like some flower pots or something, and maybe some mob heads. I know I've got a wither skeleton skull lying around somewhere in the storage room over there. That is going to be all of our stairs, so I reckon what we'll do is, I guess we'll just have to put like a covering over this. We'll just make it out of planks. It'll be fine. And then when we get the necessary blocks, I guess we can just put them right up on top here. Although technically we aren't going to be able to align that beacon. So like to the center, because we got 2 blocks right there. So yeah, I guess we're going to have to scratch the beacon idea. That's a huge oof. But I'm sure there's another build we can probably incorporate it into. And it's also a little bit of ways away from the moon base over here. It was an okay idea. But I think maybe we could build something else over here, and then that could have the beacon, and we're right next to the house, so it looks pretty nice and everything. Anyways, I need more wood. Here's some more wood. Holy frick. What we're also going to need is we're going to need a lot of item frames, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to label all the chests that have the ingredients in them, so that way it's easily accessible. I think it'll be pretty nice. We should have some leather somewhere in here, in theory. Here we go. Probably not enough, but, oh, here's 6 more. That's pretty good. We'll take that. And then, bam, item frames. That is not an item frame texture I'm used to right there. Just for good measure, I'm going to craft some more, assuming we can find more leather. Alright, that's 14 right there. I reckon that should be enough, potentially. Maybe. I don't know. It feels like enough. Alright, so I reckon we'll just add that cover full of planks. Not that we'll ever put anything right here. And then maybe we'll put some poles on the inside, too, where the corners are, but yeah, I think that's going to be wraps for this build right here. That's pretty good. Except the interior. We still gotta do the interior. That's right. Holy frick. So this is what it looks like on the outside right here. As you can see, it doesn't look too bad. It looks pretty good, actually. Very dark on the inside. We gotta light this stuff up right here. Thank goodness we have 63 torches right here. That's amazing. So we'll just put all those right around here. And then we'll have to do something else here because this is a pretty high ceiling, not gonna lie. Doesn't look like it's this high of a ceiling from outside. So what we're gonna do to make it obviously match all around here is first we're gonna add ourselves some shelves real quick. And those are gonna be made out of the stairs because, yeah, reasons. I reckon those can go like right up here. And then maybe in the corner, yeah, we can just put ourselves some more logs. I reckon that looks pretty good right there. We'll just have to repeat that on all 3 other sides now. And who is that I hear? I think we've discovered a wandering trader. Hello there, buddy. What do you have? Nothing. That's great. Except maybe the blue dye. I think we'll take the blue dye. There we go. And the purple dye. We'll take the purple dye. But other than that, you can leave, I guess. Or unless you want to come in here, too. I'm not sure if your llamas are going to be able to fit. Yeah, that's right. He found out. He's not interested anymore. But this is what we got right here. Now, what another idea I think we could use is we could add paintings here too. I think that would be a pretty nice addition. I've been trying to use more paintings lately for things like other than secret passageways and whatnot. So yeah. Oh my goodness, how'd the llamas get in here? I didn't know they could fit. He's coming in. He's moving in, ladies and gentlemen. This is our first resident. Not this is like a place you can actually live. Potions are going to live in here though. Now, unfortunately, we do have a 3x3 area right here, and 3 is an odd number, so we can't do any large chests right here without some normal chests. We're gonna have to divvy some things up, but I reckon that shouldn't be too big of an issue, given, you know, just the quantity of some of these items, you know, and how rare they are. I imagine we'll probably never fill a full, like, double chest filled with, like, nothing but, like, magma cream, unless we have, like, a farm. And I really don't think having that much magma cream is really necessary in a world, so yeah, I guess we can just get right to it. I'm gonna go grab some chests and another door. Alright, so I'm just gonna fill this whole area up right here. That was not nearly enough chests at all. So luckily, we've got a whole bunch of wood right here, and we're gonna craft it all up. There's 10 chests, so we need 3 more. We need a lot more than that. We need like 30 chests. Alright, there we go. That's a lot more like it right there. Oh wait, we got a whole other side to do. That's great. Yep. Do we even need... There's no way there... Nah. No. Hold on. No, we might not need to put chests on that side. Because there's like not that many brewing items and whatnot. So obviously we're going to have duplicates here and everything. So there we go. That's all of our chests and everything. Oh yeah, that's right. We still need to store the potions. So we do need chests over here. Why am I not thinking? Alright, and there we go. So now what I reckon it's time to do is it's time to start labeling some of these. So what we'll do is we'll have just a few of them be nether wart because we're going to have a lot of that. And then, yeah, I'll bring one of each of the items over when we go and do that. I don't know why I thought for a second there it would just automatically have the item right there. I am very silly, you couldn't already tell. It's only going to be on this side. I think it's going to go without saying that this side right here is all going to be potions and everything. Also, we forgot to extend the shelf right there. I think that would look a lot better, to be honest. You know, we could totally do like a whole other floor if we wanted to right here. It's like the perfect space for it. We could use this for like an attic, just bring this all out with some slabs, put some ladders here, 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 and here. And it would look pretty good for like a second floor. I don't know if we're actually going to do that or not, but yeah, I don't think we'd be able to farm any nether wart up there. But I also brought some lanterns too. I don't know where we're going to put these. Maybe on the outside. I think that would look pretty good. Yeah, it would look good. All right, so we'll just put these on the outside right here. Some near the windows, and the corners, and the doors. And we don't have enough. Dang it. All right, time to grab everything out of this chest, or at least as much as we can carry. Oh yeah, that's right. We got Dragon's Breath. That's pretty good. That's very nice. And we can't pick up the brewing stand, unfortunately. We're going to have to go on the other side and get the brewing stands there, too. And unfortunately, that's also going to mean that we're going to lose the blaze powder unless I use my brain and take it out before we break it. Then it should be all good. Assuming it doesn't just drop when you break it. I don't think it does, to my memory. Alright, so I reckon we'll have these 3 right here. These will all be nether wart. We'll shove all that in there once I'm finished rotating it. It's going to be a little bit of a tricky squeeze to get that in there, but anyways. Yeah, so we'll have that all be nether wart, and then 3 more will be blaze powder, which will be in the form of blaze rods, because, you know, you might need those for crafting more brewing stands and whatnot. So there we go. And then from here on out, it'll just be 1 per box right here. So just 1 magma cream, just 1 mushroom. Nothing too special besides these 2 right here, which we're going to be using a lot. And probably bottles too. Yeah, I think bottles would probably be a smart thing to have multiple of, because those can really stack and they're also quite essential. So yeah, we'll probably shove those like right over here. And I just also realized we forgot to craft up some slabs so that way we could use them as like the countertop right on over here. I think that's going to look pretty dang nice. And there we go. So we'll have 8 brewing stands in here in total, which I reckon is more than enough. This right here, this is the benefit of using item frames, because they're entities. You can technically have 2 of them in 1 block right here. It's pretty amazing. Just going to use all these for the bottles. So we've got a lot of these now. I crafted up some more, not realizing that we already had some in the other storage area. Yeah, we're pretty stacked now, that's for sure. In fact, I don't know, like, that's probably going to be more than enough to stock up all these chests if we were to theoretically use all of them for potions and stuff. But now, I think it's actually just going to be a matter of me going back and grabbing items and then bringing them over here, and that includes the brewing stands. Alright, and we've successfully emptied out that batch. Time to get more. I don't know if we're going to have 8 brewing stands, but I reckon we might have 5. That's my guess right now. You know, not going to lie, it would be absolutely amazing if we could have shulkers right now. We do technically have access to them, but the void is absolutely terrifying to me in the end. I really don't want to lose all this junk we made. So, yeah, we're going to go back there sometime real soon. Not sure if it'll be the next episode, but a future episode. Probably sometime before we get to the 80s of episodes, I guess. But, yeah, we're going to try to get our hands on some shulkers as soon as possible, because that would probably be very helpful for tasks like these. Luckily, it appears that there are a little bit less potions than I expected, so after this, it's going to be the last run here. We'll get the brewing stands and it'll all be set up, and then I gotta just landscape the area around it. Alright, and it appears that I was just 1 off with the brewing stand. We actually have 4, so that's going to be half, so we can just craft 4 more sometime later. And yeah, that'll be full capacity in here. Quite the news flash, I know. Very, very life-changing, but yeah. We're going to try to divvy this stuff up, so that's good. 3, 6, 6, 5. How many more item frames we need? We need 6 over here, 6 over here, 12, 13, 14. Okay, 14 more item frames we need. And I believe there was only 1 chest in there that actually had items in it that's completely unlabeled right now, so we're doing pretty good. We're going to have a lot of space in there just for other brewing items we might come across. Honestly, I might move golden apples in there potentially, just because like those can be used to cure zombie villagers and stuff. We got the weakness potions, might as well keep them in the same place. But yeah, that's looking really good right now. And there we go. Very nice. 12. And to the shock of absolutely no one, it appears that I have goofed up once again. We needed more than that. 14. I literally just said that 2 seconds ago. Also, I think one of our item frames just got completely like poofed out of existence, not gonna lie. I don't see it anywhere, but yeah, hold on. I'll be right back. Something we also gotta grab too are some cobblestone for some stairs and stuff, because we're gonna have that water pool right in the center as well. So I reckon all we'll need is 4, and then we'll waterlog all 4 of them, and yeah, that'll be it. That should be enough, actually, for infinite water, basically, in terms of water bottles. Obviously, if we bucket it completely, that won't be the case, but you know, things are kind of crazy in the Minecraft world, to say the least. Alright, and there we go. I'm just going to throw some torches down real quick, just to make sure no mobs spawn right there. That, along with this right here, is all set. Now, I've been recording for over an hour now. I didn't think that this would take this long. But, yeah, I'm just going to cut ahead to when this is all landscaped, pretty much. Alright, and after a little bit of landscaping, and by that I mean bringing the grass on over here in the form of dirt, this is what it looks like right here. It's going to look even better once the grass spreads over here, but, yeah, this took a lot of dirt. I had to use all the dirt in our reserves to do this right here, so yeah, pretty crazy stuff, but it's not going to be the end of the video just yet. What we're going to do is we're obviously going to make the path going over here. And I was thinking we could also maybe put some boxes right here, some window boxes, even though there's no window here, and put some plants there just to make it look a tad bit more lively. And off camera too, I also rethought the idea of having the chests like on this level, because like it is kind of a poor design choice in my opinion. I really think we should have kept like the odd or the even area right here, similar to this right here, so we can have double chests and it won't look hideous. It'll be symmetrical and everything. So what I think we're going to do in the next episode is we're going to dig out the basement, and then the chests will be storing everything down there. It'll be all set, and up here will be where we actually do the brewing. And what I was thinking actually is we'd have like a staircase in the middle right here, another staircase right here. They'll both go down so you can easily get from the top floor to the bottom floor pretty quickly in a matter of seconds. So yeah, we're going to try to do our best to make it accessible, but obviously that's not this episode. So yeah, let's just get on with it and make this path. It's not going to be too fancy, like basically every single path I've made in Minecraft. We're going to actually bring the path a little bit over here, because we'll probably be branching off of this and going in this direction right here, but yeah, and then all we gotta do is just fill in the middle right here. It's a pretty nice method I like to use to draw paths without, you know, being like too crazy about, you know, the exact positioning and things. You know, just draw 2 lines basically and then fill them in between. Pretty simple stuff. Let's repeat it again right on over here. These vines could be a little bit of a problem right here though. They're kind of blocking the way. How do you reckon we ought to do this right here? I don't know. I think we'll just do something similar how we did something like on the other side right there. Similar tactic here. Obviously we'll have to clear away some of the vines and whatnot. Maybe even knock down one of the trees here. But yeah, it should be all good in the long run right here. Alright. There we go, basically. This is what it's looking like right here. I think it looks pretty good, minus the tree. We're going to knock down the tree right now. We'll actually be getting some of our jungle wood back from doing this right here, because these big jungle trees, the reason people farm them is purely because of how huge they are and how much wood you can get from one of these. And this is one of the taller ones, so yeah, we're just going to climb to the top here and start breaking it down. It's a little annoying doing this with spruce trees, because the spruce trees, the big ones, those don't have any vines on them, so you just gotta do, you gotta kind of like carve yourself a staircase, I guess, into the tree right here. I believe a very long time ago, I made a video actually showcasing that. I'm gonna put it in the card. It is an old video, so quality might be a tad bit low, but it is, very informative from what I remember. If I remember correctly, it's actually in 1.18 survival experiment, I want to say, maybe. And it was like a long time ago, so it's some digital history right there for you. But yeah, hopefully I'm able to find that video, because we actually just passed 600 videos, I think, recently on this channel. Holy smokes. So yeah, pretty crazy stuff we got going on here. That's why I really like uploading to YouTube and stuff, because like, digital history, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, I think we might have left a log behind in that little, this little branch right here, what's left of it. Or did we? I don't think we did. It's hard to see at night. Well, either way, that's gonna be this tree completely gone. And yeah, we can fix up the path right here. Very nice, and look at all this wood we got. Personally, I was expecting it to be a little bit more. So let's collect up all this real quick. And yeah. Nearly 2 stacks, just under, and we have 7 saplings too. More are probably going to fall, so yeah, very good farming strategy right here if you want a lot of jungle wood quickly. And luckily that is actually going to be what we need to craft these boxes right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take those, we're going to turn them into planks, make ourselves some trap doors right here. Not sure how many we're going to need, so I'm just going to craft like a whole bunch here. Now what we're also going to need are the flowers themselves. Do I have any like big flowers, like lilacs for example? How many of these do I have lying around? Because we don't have a flower farm in this world anywhere, so like, I think maybe it might be a little bit hard to find good flowers for this, so that's going to be a little bit of an oof, but nevertheless, I am going to take a swing at it anyways. I am noticing that we have a lot of poppies in these barrels right here, so I reckon that could be a good plant to use for now. If we get a better plant, like more lilacs, for example, or any of the bigger plants, except the sunflower. I don't think the sunflowers look very good because those always face east no matter what. And yeah, not very appealing. It's gonna look very repetitive and odd if we were to use sunflowers there. But yeah, we'll have to get our hands on some better flowers at some point, I guess. But I reckon these poppies, they should do just fine. Now, we're gonna get ourselves just a stack of dirt. It's probably gonna be like very, very overkill for this. And we're just gonna go do a little thing here real quick. Alright, so this is kind of what we got going on right here. Unfortunately, we do not have enough poppies, at least on us right now, to actually wrap it around the whole thing right here. The grass is indeed spreading. That was a little bit of a concern with me. I wasn't sure if the grass would be able to spread. Personally, I don't really think it's that big of a deal. In fact, it might be better off without the grass spreading, because, like, who the heck grows grass in their window boxes? Like, name a person. I'm not a gardening expert, but I don't think that's something people typically do. So we've got actually these two really big ones right here in front of the windows. I guess we can move some of the poppies over and away from those. So 1, 2, 1, 2, and then does that cover the whole thing? No, it doesn't. We need 4 more. I'm gonna go check. And we need 12 total if we want to cover the whole thing. So I'm just going to go check again real quick. Alright, so after searching a little bit more, I came across 8 more. I think for sure that's going to be all of our poppies. If I had to guess, these probably came from iron golems that died due to mob attacks and everything. So I guess this building is a tribute to all the fallen iron golems in our life. So yeah, we're going to be honoring them well this episode. What I'm going to do temporarily is I'm just going to have 2 of them, 1 on each side for the big window boxes right here. I think it looks pretty good. And you get to see out the window a little bit better. But yeah, there we go. I think the thing is officially complete. So yeah, we built a whole freaking building in this episode. Big shock, I know. A surprise to absolutely no one. We're going to continue working on this the next episode, most likely. Unless something absolutely crazy happens, of course. But I really don't think anything will. We're just going to basically dig out the basement and do what I said earlier pretty much. Now I know some of you are probably thinking right here, this would be a pretty good area to put the nether wart, but I simply don't think that would be very effective. Especially given the crafting recipe for the red nether brick and everything that we might use in the future. I kind of want a little something bigger, so that's also probably going to be in the basement. So maybe we could have like yet another bunker in this world. We got a bunker over there, a bunker in the desert nether, a bunker in the surface nether. So yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to go dig underground, make our little room that's gonna go like under here or something. And yeah, that'll be that. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this 30+ minute video. Yeah, these Birchlands videos, and generally Minecraft videos that aren't like snapshots, they sure are long, that's for sure. But yeah, if you like what you saw, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you later.